What if I told you that there are 5 distinct opportunities right in front of us that have the potential to earn you more money in the coming year than most people make at their day jobs, while everyone else is squabbling over the same stale side gigs like selling on Etsy or driving for Uber? I'm referring to side projects that the majority of people have never even heard of, much less thought about, and some of which demand virtually no initial financial outlay. Hey everyone, if you're here, you're probably like me, always looking for that next opportunity to build real wealth outside of the traditional 9-to-5 grind. I'm not talking about the typical side projects that everyone else suggests, but rather 5 that could yield a substantial income in 2025. I've gone pretty deep on the research here, tried some of these out myself too. Some of my friends have been successful following some of these strategies, so I can attest to this stuff actually working. It's important to remember not everyone will gain from each of these, or even be successful with them. Each of these will require different skill sets, have their own unique time commitments, and even risk tolerances. I only ask this, take the time to honestly evaluate each one as we go through this list, and ask yourself, does this fit into my own goals, objectives, and circumstances? Are you ready? Let's get started. Side hustle number 1 is AI prompt engineering consulting. And yeah, I know, you're probably thinking, oh great, another person hyping up AI. But stick with me here. Sure, everyone's heard of ChatGPT by now, but here's what's wild. Most businesses are totally and completely lost when it comes to actually using AI, or any of the various AI tools available. What they do know is they're supposed to be doing something with AI, but they have no clue how to ask the right questions to get anything useful or meaningful back out of it. This is where you come in. Prompt engineering. AI prompt engineering isn't about being a tech genius. It's about understanding how to communicate with AI systems to get the best results. You can learn these skills in a matter of weeks through free resources and practice. Once you're proficient, you can charge anywhere from $50 to $200 per hour helping businesses optimize their AI workflows. I know someone who started doing this 6 months ago and is now making over $8,000 a month just working evenings and weekends. She helps local marketing agencies create better content with AI, streamlines customer service responses for small businesses, and even helps entrepreneurs develop product descriptions and email campaigns. The demand is absolutely exploding right now because businesses know they need to adapt, but they don't have the internal expertise. The beauty of this side hustle is that you can start immediately with just your computer and internet connection. Begin by mastering prompting techniques for popular AI tools, then create case studies by helping friends or local businesses for free initially. Once you have some results to show, you can start charging premium rates because the value you provide is immediate and measurable. Number 2 might sound a bit old school, but trust me, digital product flipping is having a serious moment right now. And no, trust me, this isn't flipping stuff on eBay. I'm talking about buying digital assets that aren't performing well. This could be anything, from websites to social media accounts, email lists, or even domain names, fixing them up and selling them for a profit. You might be asking yourself, what is that makes this interesting? On interesting right now, the internet is absolutely packed with people who jumped into online business during the pandemic but never really figured out how to make money from it. So these assets are going for ridiculously cheap compared to what they could actually be worth. For example, you might find an Instagram account with 20,000 followers in a profitable niche that's making $0 because the owner doesn't know how to monetize it. You could acquire that account for a few $100s, spend a couple of weeks implementing proper monetization strategies, and flip it for several $1,000s to someone who recognizes its value. The same principle applies to simple websites, email newsletters, or even online courses that have good content but poor marketing. You're essentially becoming a digital real estate investor, but instead of fixing up houses, you're fixing up digital properties. To get started, you'll want to learn the basics of digital marketing, understand how to evaluate online assets, and know where to find these opportunities. Platforms like Flippa, Empire Flippers, and even Facebook groups dedicated to buying and selling digital assets are great places to start looking. The key is developing an eye for undervalued assets and knowing how to quickly improve their performance. Side hustle number 3 is something I call micro-consulting in emerging industries. While everyone thinks consulting requires decades of experience and fancy credentials, there are brand new industries popping up where even basic knowledge can be incredibly valuable. Think about industries like drone services, virtual reality experiences, podcast production, or sustainable technology implementation. These fields are growing so rapidly that there's a huge knowledge gap. Someone who spends just 3 to 6 months seriously studying one of these areas can often know more than 90% of business owners who need help in these spaces. I actually know a guy who's doing this with podcast launches. He spent 4 months learning everything he could about podcast production and marketing. And get this, he was a construction worker before. Never touched media in his life. But he noticed podcasting was blowing up, put in the time to learn it inside and out, and now he's charging $3,000 to help businesses launch their podcasts the right way. Booked solid for the next 4 months. The play here is finding an industry that's growing and that you're genuinely interested in, getting good at it, and then helping other people who are trying to break into that space. You don't have to be the absolute best in the world, you just need to know more than the people who need help and be able to save them from the mistakes everyone makes starting out. Side hustle number 4 leverages something most people don't realize is incredibly valuable: your local knowledge and connections. I call this hyperlocal digital brokering. Essentially, you become the bridge between local businesses and remote digital services. Here's how it works. There are thousands of incredibly talented freelancers and digital service providers around the world who could help local businesses in your area. But these businesses either don't know these services exist or don't trust working with someone they've never met. You become the local representative and project manager for these remote services. So let's say you connect with an amazing graphic designer in Eastern Europe who charges $30 an hour, but does work that would easily cost $150 an hour here. You go find local businesses that need design work, charge them $80 an hour, manage everything, and pocket the $50 difference, while both sides are getting a great deal. This works really well for web development, social media management, content creation, digital marketing, that kind of thing. Local businesses get incredible talent without paying through the roof, freelancers overseas get consistent work, and you're making solid money just by managing the relationship and keeping projects on track. The secret? Just be reliable, deliver great work consistently, and keep tight relationships with freelancers you can count on. You're basically running your own little digital agency without needing to know how to code or design anything yourself. Finally, side hustle number 5 might be the most potentially lucrative of all: creating and selling digital templates for emerging software platforms. Every time a new business software platform gains popularity, there's immediately a massive demand for templates, themes, and automation setups that help users get results faster. Right now, platforms like Notion, Airtable, Monday.com, and various AI tools are exploding in popularity, but most users struggle to set them up effectively. If you can learn how to create sophisticated templates and workflows for these platforms, you can sell them repeatedly with almost no ongoing work required. I know creators who are making $5,000 to $10,000 per month selling Notion templates, project management setups, or automated workflow templates. Once you create a template, you can sell it hundreds or thousands of times. It's truly passive income once the initial work is done. The move is to figure out which software platforms are taking off right now, get really good at using them, and then create templates that solve the problems people keep running into. Then you just market them through social media, content, or whatever marketplace that platform has. What makes all these side hustles powerful is that they tap into current market trends and technological shifts while requiring relatively low startup costs. They're not about competing in oversaturated markets. They're about positioning yourself at the intersection of emerging opportunities and existing demand. The most important thing to remember is that success with any of these requires genuine commitment to learning and providing real value. Look, these aren't get rich in 30 days type deals. These are real businesses that pay off when you actually develop skills and take care of your customers. So which one of these actually speaks to you? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this was helpful, hit subscribe. I'm always out here researching opportunities like these. Things are changing fast in the economy right now, and the people who figure out how to adapt and position themselves smart, those are the ones building actual wealth over the next few years. Looking for more out-of-the-box advice on money and side hustles? Be sure to hit like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you content.